Hi everyone, I'm Martin. Who are you? And today we are playing Cities Skylines 2 Richie Bay. Welcome back everyone, and thanks again for joining in the city of Richie Bay. This time around our central station. I don't believe we named this district just yet, but maybe that is for the near future, because right now and for today's video we're gonna expand our citizens quite a bit. As the numbers suggest, in our population right now we have 39,000 available jobs ready, but only 33,000 people are employed. So if my math is doing the mathing, we should be able to at least expand our citizens with another 6,000 people, right? Let's hope so. And we're gonna do that right over here where we left off in our previous episode with the metro station and the skyscrapers. Now remember, I do want to have a lot of skyscrapers right here, more density buildings, high rises, apartments and stuff like that, because I do want to make this district basically our dense city center. Why? Because we do have this elevated metro station right here that is supported with 2 tracks, so we can support a lot of traffic, basically foot traffic, around this area. Now, unfortunately, demand for apartments has not come back yet, but we do have a lot of demand for high rises, right? So I hope that basically when I build this district, maybe this will turn up eventually. We just have to wait and see. We're gonna use a lot of Eastern European apartment high rises mixed with some northeast and southwest, basically as long as the architecture fits in with the build that I have in mind. Okay, we're here, we're queer, let's see how this goes. As you can see, I already demolished the apartments that I had built right here because I want to make use of the Eastern European pack quite a lot and then spruce it a little bit up with the Northeastern pack and the Southwestern pack to have some little variation in the architecture. But the icons in the library with the ploppable tool are so tiny and small that I don't see them quite good with my low vision, right? So as you can see, I put the game on pause, just in case. But I've built every high density Eastern European pack building right over here. So if you are struggling with some low vision and you were curious how this looks like, here you go. Why do I do this? Well, as you can see right now, we do have some variation in corners, which I didn't notice before. We have a right corner over here. We have a left corner over here. And for me, this way, it's way easier to see those building blocks basically come together, right? So here, for instance, I've used I think this corner double, but now we can easily grab with the eyedropper tool, which is my hotkey on number 3, I guess, on the numpad. Yes, so I can just easily click this and just drag it across the street right here, place it on the corner, and then we have basically the right building that we want right over here. So that is way easier for me. We're gonna do that for the other block as well. Hopefully I can find the right one, you know, that's always the problem. It's the first block, this one, right? Yes. So let's grab this one and let's go back. Boop. There. Put it in the corner right there. And now we can enjoy the difference that these buildings have basically in front of them, I think, because this is a little bit different, or is it the same? I don't know actually. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest, but it looks amazing. And now I can easily continue building a block of these apartments right now, maybe with some courtyards in between. I think that can be quite nice. Phase 1 of building this district is complete. Right now, I'm quite happy with the result that we have thus far, and I'm quite done using this particular model from the Eastern European pack. I've used every single one of them for the variation that we have right here. And we do have the variation of the other construction material right here, as you can see, with a more of a brick version, which I do like, but I'm gonna use that on the other side of the metro station right here a little bit more, because on this side of the district, I want to blend in more residential and office zoning and commercial zoning. And I think this white material blends in quite nicely with the offices and the commercial buildings that we have right here. As you can see, we do have a gorgeous view of these apartments right here. I wouldn't mind living here, to be quite honest. This is quite nice, and I want to make use of this, of course, as well. And other than that, as you can see, we've had the individual towers basically around here. We have this one. I do like this round one. Where is it? Here as well on the corner. I think it's quite nice. And then we have these blocks with a small courtyard here in between and here as well. I hope this will work because I've changed the pedestrian street a little bit so vehicles can use this as well and hopefully park their cars. Because, of course, with a lot of these buildings, we're gonna need the parking, you know, so we're gonna keep an eye on that because I'm thinking that it's going to get quite busy around here. So maybe it is even time to build that garage, that tower garage here anyway, because I think it would blend in quite nice. And speaking of signature, basically eye-catcher buildings, we do have this space right here, right, which I was gonna talk to you about for just a little bit, because again, this map is based on Washington DC, and as my brain hopefully serves me well, I think like this is the with the obelisk that stands here, right? Is it a memorial building? I don't know, but it is an obelisk. I don't know the name of it, to be quite honest, but that is standing right over here in the real world. Now, I do like the fact that because of this big district, we're gonna use an eye catcher here as well, but it has to be quite tall because it has to stand out. We don't want to blend it in so that we cannot see it anymore, right? So I am thinking to build this one right here, and I do hope it fits quite nicely. Is it this one? No, yes, it is this one. It is like the biggest observatory tower that we have in the game, and I hope it doesn't interfere with the apartment right there that I've built. But I do hope that it would fit in like perfectly like so. Let's see. Is there something? Does it fit perfectly? Oh my gosh, it fit perfectly. Like, to be honest, I think it's quite cool to have like this around and around, right? I think this works out quite fine. What do you guys think? Anyway, for now, I'm gonna demolish all of this right here, and I'm gonna unpause the game for just a little bit because I do want to see what is happening with demand right here with the high residential building. So I don't want this to interfere with the demand. I don't know if it does, because basically people cannot reach this place, but just in case, I've demolished everything right here. And then we're just gonna unpause the game and, you know, basically hope for the best. Let's press play and let's see what happens with the demand right here, because it's probably will drastically, yes, will go down and down and down we go. So let's just wait and see how this turns out. Now, I know these people are just moving in, but this is what I mean, people. This is what I meant by busy sidewalks and streets and people crossing all over, you know, like getting to the metro station. I think here it's also quite busy. Look at this, look at this, look at this, right around this. Like this is good. This is what I'd like to see, you know. the place should feel alive with all these people walking around, especially with all these high density flats. So let's just hope this disperses quite nicely and eventually we'll use the subway in the future. So remember when I said I will unpause the game for just a little bit? That turned into 4 in-game years. Welcome in 2041 in Richie Bay. Welcome to the future, basically. What has happened in the meantime? Let me show you and let me tell you, because I'm gonna tell you what not to do, basically. I do like the look of our new busy district in our urban area right here. So I do like how what the end result is gonna be, and it's not finished yet. But the problem that I had was an enormous death wave that was going over Richie Bay. Why? Don't pause your game when you are building these high density buildings into your city. The problem here was that I've paused the game, placed all these high density residential buildings, right? So around 10,000 people or 50,000 people at the same time moved in, and they all died at the same time. So we had a death wave of like 5,000 people per month. Cemeteries and crematoriums were overwhelmed, of course. Everyone got sick in Richie Bay, of course. So the whole city basically needed a blood transfusion, and I just waited out for 4 in-game years to completely have like a new life cycle in the game. So yeah, it's been 2 days in real time, but that does happen a lot with my videos, to be honest. So I'm quite okay. I hope you guys are okay too. If you are building with me, and again, don't pause your game. Just let the simulation run at the same time when you are building these buildings. Just a tip, because otherwise you're gonna have to wait a little while to continue. But here we are in our busy district. I do like it. I've combined some more low commercial density buildings around it, as you can see, to provide also some jobs, but I also believe that's a little bit more realistic looking. I don't believe that, you know, like skyscrapers are so closely placed together, in my opinion. At least it's not what I see when I look at these online pictures. And I do like when you go around, there is this dynamic view of every single side, that it looks, you know, believable with some standouts with this office building right here. But I think we can detail some really nice things around this area, which I'm quite happy to do, to be honest. And in between, where we have some space left, we can easily put in some more apartments. I am saying this in this way because if you do remember correctly, I had a problem that we don't have any demand in medium density, but that is back again. Thank God. I am clapping. Why? Because there was a glitch with some buildings that I had in the city where the building worked basically, but not any citizen would live there. So it stayed on unoccupied building. But the problem is that the game thought that we could still have people moving in Richie Bay. So my citizens also went up from 70,000 people within the 4 years to 130,000 people, because the game kept thinking, oh, I could put people there, I can put people there. And then I finally found the glitch building basically and demolished it, and then my citizens dropped 50,000 people because they all moved away. It's not ideal, and I've been patient for a very long time, but basically it was my mistake, so it's my own doing. That's just the case. The only problem here is that we are losing quite some money at the moment, but it is turning into the green more and more. We are now at a loss at around 100k per hour, but this was like 300k per hour, so I think it will even out eventually. All in all, We are back. It is working again. We're gonna place some more apartments around to get that unemployment rate a little bit lower and hopefully get some higher skilled labor in with these apartments to work at these offices that I've zoned in as well. As you can see, I've used like the China pack, I've used the Northeast pack, but I think it all blends in quite nicely. Take this section right here, for example, where we have some space left. I'm just gonna make use of that grid a little bit better because I want to use the diagonal part a little bit more to have like a standout building on that space right over there. So let me see if I can find the right pedestrian street that I use. Yes, perfect. Let me turn off snapping over here. And then we're gonna create our own little section because I do like the 2x2s and the 3x2s a lot for mixed house use. So maybe we can build that over there on that side, and then hopefully this will change this right over here. Perfect for some apartments, right? This is only the bugger that I have here, so maybe I can use the zoning tool. Let me see if I can figure that out because I have this, but I don't use it a lot. So if I don't want zoning over this side, do I need to click like an upgrade tool or something? I think so, right? Here. Yes. And then I just click. Like, is it just a boop? It's not a boop. Maybe no zoning? Let's click no zoning and then we can always change it on the... Basically, I'm not going to build anything over there, right? There we go. Oh, that is perfect. Great mod. Great mod. So then we're going to grab mixed housing for just some variation. We're going to use the North American style right over here. And we're going to just let that spawn in because I'm still a little bit afraid that I'm going to break the game anyway. But we're going to do it my way. So we're going to have this tool right over here. We're gonna put in a corner and then a 3x3. Oh, it's not gonna... Okay, wait, because then we have to use this part. We're gonna change that a little bit as well. That is annoying. Can I... How do I do this? Oh wait, then I have to use probably the pedestrian road, I think, to make a separation between the two. I think that works out fine in the end if I do that. Because then it will separate. And that's fine, like a small... No, then you have to do it that way. Stupid. That's better. Like this. Okay, we got there. We got there. That is gonna spawn in again, hopefully. Yes, it will. Can we do like maybe a 2x2 again? Does that fit? 3x3 and 3x3. Well, maybe another pedestrian street right over there. That should be fine too. And then we can see over here 3, 3, and 3, and then we do 2 and then another pedestrian street. I think that will be for the best. Is this working? Let me check if this is working. I'm mumbling again. Like so. Yes, it's spawning in. Perfect. And then we're gonna use some normal apartments right here. The North American style ones. Because I don't have used the vanilla game assets quite a lot just yet, so basically this should be fine. And I do want to see what is going to spawn in right here, what kind of variation we have. How I'm going to do this easily, like this. We do have some different size apartments, which is fine, but I'm gonna wait and see like how close these buildings are. If they are too close, in my opinion, I might demolish like the middle one or this one or maybe this one, and then create like a back alley or a small park in between, something like that, because I don't find it always so believable that these apartments are so close together. Like when you watch out the window, you can look into the other person's apartment, right? I no, we don't want that. Not in my city, basically. We're gonna do the same over here. Let me use the pedestrian street, but we're gonna cheat a little bit here. Let me puzzle this correctly. Did I have? Yeah, I do. Because I want to make the most out of it. So can I do like maybe from here and create some more cells? Is this 90 degrees? There we go. We're fine. Everything is fine. Like that. And then hopefully I can even do like... Well, is that okay though? I think it's for the best. One cell extra. But we have this nice block right here, which is perfect because then we can get a bigger apartment in. At least I think so. I hope so. I'm gonna have to wait and see how this turns out. This is the biggest one, so I'm gonna wait again how this looks, and I'm gonna fill in the rest of this section right here as well. Now that the final apartments are in, I'm really happy with the end result of this district. We have enough variation in buildings. This is really like a nice skyline that we have created here for City Bay. City Bay? Richie Bay. And then on the other side of the metro substation, we're gonna continue with some skyscrapers and more apartments to have a nice flow over into the rest of the city. Now over here we want to do some detailing as well. Of course, we have enough to do in the center of it all, but I want to focus my speed build on three things here in this city center, and that is one right here with this beautiful office building from the China Pack right here. I think we can create something really nice around this, maybe some park and some parking and some walkways in between. So we have like basically the look and feel of a convention center, maybe, that a lot of people come here and listen to lectures and meet up, you know, stuff like that. A really business center. Then on the other side of the metro station, I've added this road, as you can see, so we have something in between, and I want to get rid of all the green basically in this area because I want to make it as urban-esque as I can possibly can. So we're gonna add a lot of pavement, a lot of flower in pots, a lot of benches, maybe some hot dog stands around here, but basically most of them will be concrete and people can maybe walk underneath and stuff like that. Maybe with some invisible pathways I can make something nice happen, but we'll see how that turns out. And of course, don't forget this beautiful observatory tower right here in het Nederlands, or in Dutch, as we should say. We call it an observatietoren. It's crazy high. It reminds me a little bit of the Sky Tower in Tokyo. I have the luck to visit Tokyo twice in Japan, and it is quite the standout, the Sky Tower. So this is the same vibe, and it still look quite nice. I wonder how it looks at night though, but we're gonna check that out later. Anyway, before I start yapping again, we're gonna create something really nice, of course, in front of this observation tower right here. We have this beautiful lake. We're gonna add some pavement in and create some pathways around here, maybe a few benches, maybe a small park, but definitely to make it worth the visit. And here we are, part one of our busy city center with a lot of skyscrapers is finished, and I'm quite happy with the end result. Unfortunately, I don't have all the footage from my speed builds of detailing every single area. It got a little bit glitchy, especially when it comes to placing surfaces, and I don't know if you guys want to see that. I honestly don't know if you want to see the speed builds or you're just happy with me just yapping away about my city. Anyway, just let me know in the comments. But I do enjoy the detailing, and of course I will showcase right now what I've been doing right over here. So I do love this section with this enormous statue. Now, of course, this bronze statue is a little nod to Lady Liberty in the real world, with New York and the gift from France. And you can of course build this near a harbor like you have in the real world, but I thought it was quite funny to add it over here. I think it's a nice statuesque place for a statue. It is like almost like a welcome to this new city district right here. It has an amazing view when you turn around over the river and then over the basically the west side of Richie Bay. I think it looks gorgeous right here. It was a lot of effort to building this and creating like a nice flow, but I think we are quite done right here. Luckily, as you might have saw in the speed build, we can push this build a little bit back, so we don't need any roads connecting to it. We just place some surfaces around here, and people actually use this and actually go in and out using this surface, so it looks quite natural, which is quite nice. And then around I've just added some pathways. In my mistake, I basically raised this for a few meters, but I don't mind this look though. I don't mind it, and it's getting used. Look at that. I mean, people are walking around here. I take it. I take it a little bit higher up so you can enjoy the view over the lake. I wouldn't mind that either. We have this little goalie right here so people can play in the park. We added some swings, and I have added this small as well to have this idea that maybe one of a few families are having a picnic right here. Now maybe we're gonna add a little bit more extra here in the water in the near future, but we're gonna have to wait and see for that to happen. Right now I've also placed a pier right here. I do enjoy that we have these because these light up in the evening as well. They look quite natural and realistic, so that's nice. But honestly, I don't know what else is the purpose of this, because besides that, I want to show you something. And is this just my stupid thing that I don't understand, or maybe have I overlooked? Because when you go into production, this is this sidebar, by the way, sidebar. When you go into production and you go into raw materials, what is this? Why do we have fish, and how do I get fish in? Is this new? Do I need to add more piers? Are people going to fish from there? Do I need to zone different kind of industry? Huh? I don't understand. Please help. Please help. Other than that, I do love this pier look, and I've placed this small commercial building right here that we can maybe detail a little bit more extra around this area, but I'm gonna wait until it's all leveled up, because in my mind or in my imaginations, this is like the boat rental place. So hopefully maybe we get an add-on with some boats and stuff like that, and maybe some new assets that we can create something nice around here, so it makes it a little bit more alive. But this is this section right here, which I really enjoy, looking over this view around this district. Now remember, I did want to add a lot of pavement around the subway station, which I did, but that was the part where it got really glitchy. Thank God it worked out with the help of Anarchy around here. It's just a basic pavement with a lot of trees and concrete pots and flowers, as you can see. And then around the subway station, let me see, Where is it? Where is it? Where is the start? Yeah, I just detailed just a little bit. Also very interesting that we have an ad for bicycles, but we don't have bicycles in the game. It's quite interesting. Interesting choice right here. But of course we have this bike stand right here. I thought it was quite funny to have this bicycle ad around here. And then we've added some small hot dog stands around here, because nothing screams more New York or American to me than you enter or leave a subway station and you find a hot dog stand. A hot dog stand? Hot dog stand. That's my Dutch again. Hot dog stand close by. But as you can see, people are moving in and out. It is quite busy all of the time, which I really like. I mean, this is just an amazing view of making the city feel more alive around here. So I'm quite happy that people often use these pathways as well. And this goes all the way into the back. When it stops right here. I did add also this unique apartment building from the North American signature buildings, which I do like as well. It's quite the standout, and it's a decent height around this area, especially because we are gonna enter a more lower apartment section right here, remember? So this is creating a nice flow into this other district. And of course, we've added the convention like business center right here. It's not that special, to be honest, because really honest, I got quite tired of doing this build right here, and I got a little bit in trouble when it comes to inspiration. So if you have any suggestions on how to make this a little bit more interesting looking, please let me know in the comments. I'm open for critique. I'm open to feedback. Just let me know. But we've added some parking here, which I haven't used before in this city. So it's quite unique. So that is nice. And then we have these commercial billboards, basically letting the people know that Pihi is right here. It's a telecom or software company. I don't know. It's an office building, so it would fit in right here. Anyway, that's about it for this episode, and if you made it this far at the end of the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget, keep the game running when you are building these high-density residential buildings. Please learn from my mistakes. I already have some new ideas for Richie Bay, so hopefully you stay around here, because next time we're gonna dive in a more detailed build with a special project that I hope you guys like. See you soon and have a lovely day. Bye bye everyone.